In this section, we're going to focus on using matrices, in particular on our TI graphing calculator for solving systems of linear equations. There are separate videos that give more details on both using the calculator and what matrices are. We want to begin by writing the augmented matrix. And so, having a look at the coefficients and maintaining the same order, our augmented matrix then would look like this. And we will use our calculator for dealing with this. Again, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. So on the left side of the keypad, up above the inverse key, is the matrix key. We'll begin with the second matrix. We'll go to Edit and pick one. I'll just use the first one. And give it the size, 2 by 3. And then we'll enter the numbers in the same order as we just wrote. When we're satisfied that all the numbers are correct, we do second quit, and we're back to the home screen. We will again do second matrix, only this time we'll go to the math menu and scroll down until we get to the RREF. Now remember, there is an REF that is not what we want. And then we do second matrix and choose the matrix that we just typed. The parentheses at the end is actually optional. However, when we get a matrix that has 1s in the main diagonal and 0s in the remaining square, that means the two numbers at the right are the answers in order. So x equals -4 and y equals 5. If you recall doing one like this back in section 1, you'll know that it is quite a chore to do by hand. However, for our newfound method, there's really no more work involved than there is with a system of 2 variables. You do, however, want to be careful about the numbers you use. In particular for these variables. So our matrix is going to look like this. The x means 1x, 1y, minus 4z, and 10. 2x, -3y, 1z, and 7. 3x, minus 1y, minus 1z, and 12. This is a 3 by 4, and we'll now enter that into our calculator. As before, we start with second matrix. We can choose any of these. I'll continue to use the A choice, and we'll just replace our last one. 3, enter, 4, enter, gives me an outline for my new matrix. And 1, 1, -4, 10 is the first row. 2, -3, 1, 7. the second row, and 3, negative 1, negative 1, 12. And if you need to change any of the numbers, like you made a mistake, you can just scroll around and enter the correct value. When satisfied, we do second quit back to the home screen. Now, let me show you what we can do if we take a look at the last thing we entered using second and enter, where it says entry up above. We don't have to go through the menu to get to the RREF. And if you've used the same letter like I did, you don't have anything else to do except just press enter, and here's your answer. Now again, because the left hand square of this matrix has 1, 1, 1 in the main diagonal and zeros everywhere else, then the answers in order are x equals 3, y equals negative 1, and z equals negative 2. The augmented matrix for this one would be 2, negative 3, 7, negative 6, 9, and 0. And now we'll use our calculator. So again, we begin with second matrix, edit. We change this to 2 by 3. We enter our numbers. We go second quit. Now again, since the last thing I did was RREF, matrix A, and since I just used matrix A again, all I have to do is push enter, and it will do the RREF on matrix A, but matrix A is now the new matrix, and so we get this. Now look at the bottom row. Anytime we have a row that has all zeros except for the last number, then there's no solution. So again, we're through with the problem. We just say the answer is no solution. So as usual, we will start with the augmented matrix. And then we'll use our calculator. And second matrix, edit. I continue to use the same matrix A. This again is 2 by 3. Just push enter twice and type our new numbers. Second quit. And again, the last thing I typed was RREF. I can do second, enter, and it'll call it back up. I press enter again, and here is the result. Now, I've said this several times already. In order for the numbers on the far right to be the answers, we have to have the pattern of ones and zeros. Notice in this one, the bottom row is all zeros. That means there are infinite solutions. There's no difference in what we do for the system of 3 variables. We'll still write our augmented matrix. And we'll still use our calculator to do the RREF. By now, you should have the typing of the matrices down pretty well. So I have already entered this matrix. I will go back to the home screen. I will do the RREF. Notice the bottom row, all zeros except for the last number. That means there's no solution. One last time, and again, like the previous one, the difference is not in what we do, but in how we interpret what we get. So you don't have to watch me type numbers. I've already entered this matrix. So I'll go second quit, back to the home screen, press enter, do the RREF on this matrix, and again you notice how the bottom row is all zeros. That means there are infinite solutions.